So let's check quickly. So everyone got access to Rally, right? I hope everyone has access to the Rally. So again, practice here. Yes. Okay. So let's quickly. I hope everyone has. No, everyone has. Okay. So actually, I forgot to mention to you guys actually yesterday because there was no proper internet, right? So actually, you're supposed to write whenever you're writing this test case, right? You're supposed to put your name here, okay? Because since so in real time you don't have to be. So in real time, whenever you're trying to write it, if it is, see if you're writing, sometimes you might write test cases for production environment or something like that. In that case, you can write something here like production or like critical test cases or something like that. Otherwise, not required. Okay, so this naming convention should be followed, just like if you are using any um, some projects kind of like which we are testing, like if you want to write functional testing, like functional testing. If you want to write uh, something like an acceptance testing, you can write acceptance testing. Okay, so you can use this, but here in this, specifically in this class, in this, so I wanted you to write in your name. Okay, that's fine. I didn't do that before because um, there was a little bit chaos, right? So that's fine. No issues. Yeah, so if you, so this is good, right? I mean, if you are trying to write it, most of them is some information you're trying to give. Yeah, yes, yeah, someone has a question. Omar, do you have any question?
Sir, my question is regarding the yesterday's homework. Is it related to the yesterday homework?
That's right. This is related to stress homework.
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, this is good. Like, you're writing some information. The reason here, see, this is not for you. This is for your boss, right? You're writing for your boss because, your boss looks this test cases, he or she looks at, okay, where is the information? The next question they will ask is, they'll call you, you know, you need to be, they'll call you to your desk and ask them, you know, what's up with this test case? Why it's incomplete? And you need to give an explanation. Okay, so so that's good. If you have written something, that means it shows like, okay, so this is some information, and you can give more explanation on that, why it is not, why it's not completely passed and why it is failed. And you need to also attach screenshots, right? So okay, I didn't actually show that, screenshot, attaching the screenshot part, but yeah. Okay, so that you can see the screenshots here and saying that, okay, so okay, and yeah, that's good. Next we have, So this is, this is about the test cases. Okay, so normally you will be writing test cases for, as I told you, right? So if you are writing this test case for this, so you need to come up with positive scenario, negative scenario, and if there are numbers, of course, you'll be using boundary values too. Okay, so all this. So each and every test case. Let's take an example here. So you need to think big. Okay, whenever you're trying to write a test case, you need to think big. Okay, big in sense, how can I, be more detailed? How you can be more detailed? Okay, not like detailing like put 1 2 3 or something like that, but how many ways I can write a test case for this, how many ways I can write it, you know elaborate that particular information. So let's take an example here, right? So if you're writing this test case for this, okay, let's say your positive test case. Okay, for this one field, so in order quantity, you're writing an test case. So you'll be writing positive scenarios. That's like accepting 1 2 3 4. Okay, next you'll be proceeding with negative scenarios like -1, -2, alphabet, something like that. And then you'll be, so the two test case. Third test case again will be boundary values like 0.1 or 0.2. Okay, that three test case for only one. Then you are going to test a multiple browsers. That will be IE9. Okay, IE9 somebody is using. Not sure about that. IE10, IE11, um, Edge, Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Safari. Okay, and okay, Safari if you are testing in Mac, you will be using Mac. Okay, and Chrome. So that is like three into five. Okay, 5 is a 15. Already 15 test cases for this one field. Right? So that's how you need to organize. Okay, that's how you need to come up with the test cases. Okay, so that's the test cases part. And let's. Okay, so I just explained for this. For this one field, you can combine all that. All this into one field. Okay, I'm sorry, one test case, and then you can write. And for buttons too. Buttons, because this button is not working, right? When I click this, so please enter on digits, but it has to reset. So okay, so this should be tested. Okay, so this is about the test case. Let's move to the next topic, defects. Let's go to the defects now. So does anyone see? I didn't find many people writing this test case. So my question is, does anyone have any questions? If you have any questions, let me know so that you can explain, or you can reach me out in email or phone. So if you have questions right now, you can ask. So it's actually pretty much easy, to want to just use this action, hover your mouse over this action and write a new test case. Or no, I don't want to use that, I want to copy this. Okay, you can do that. Just copy this, and most of the time it will be copying actually, because there will be already test cases written. Okay, so you'll be using this, and make sure you remove this. It doesn't look professional. And you can edit all this, and if based on your requirement, is it functional, acceptance, or performance, you can change it. Priority, okay, you can change it to your requirement. And of course you can edit the test case and you start it. Okay. Yeah, this somebody has question. Yeah, Jana, do you have any question?
Morning, Mr. Mitra.
Yeah, good morning. Do you have any question?
Hi, Mr. Mitra. Yeah, could you please slow down? I did write, few of the steps, but I did not know, how to, copy or paste in this one. So could you please slow down and could you please repeat the process?
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. Okay. And yeah, I know. I mean, yesterday there was like internet was not there. I understand that. Okay, don't worry. Today, today we can work on this one. Okay, work on the. Um, okay, so work on the defects today. No, I'll be. I hope today there will be no uh, internet shortage. Okay, so um, yeah. So how to see here? You have these three options, right? Let's say. Okay, so you know this, right? This where you are going to navigate this project. Once you are in right project, make sure you're always in the right project. Okay, make sure which project you're working. Okay, once you're in right project, make sure the right user story you're using. Okay, once you have done which project you're working on, make sure you're right user story. So there are plenty of user stories. Okay, just not here only 11 or you have in real time like thousands of I don't know more than thousands something. Okay, okay. Okay, so there will be more, I mean, like, more user stories and not just 11. Okay, now once you figure it out which user story you're working on, let's say, once you figure it out, like, you check with your BA, business analyst, or you check with the lead, or your colleague, and you figure it out your user story, and let's say you're working on this user story. So once you go here, right, there's all this left, if it is left side, you can use this left side button. Okay, or if you are using a different, see, don't get addicted to the tool. Okay, just make sure where you are trying to, so you want to write test cases, so make sure where is the test case. So here is the test case. Go click here. Okay, and you want to copy, like, the test case which are there. So here you have an option, like three options. You have this, execute. This is like, executing the test cases. This is like edit the test case, and this is to copy a test case. The last one, three icons, you see this three icons here. This cross and tick mark is to execute the test case. That means you have written test case and you have to, you need to put it saying that, okay, is it passed, is it failed, or is it inconclusive, or so on. Okay, so that's the reason you this. And then if you want to edit this test case, same test case, you use this icon. Next, if you want to copy it, like, as I told you, right, you click on this icon and you can copy this. You can, copy this test case, or if you know your own steps, you remove some of these things like this, and you can add your own information what you have written. Okay, so you can copy this. So sometimes, test cases remain same. Sometimes, let's say example, you're writing for, okay, three browsers. One is, my IE11, and next you're writing for Safari, and next you're writing for Chrome. So in that scenarios, right, you don't want to write each and everything. Okay, now you just copy this test case, and instead of Chrome, you just put it here, put it Firefox, put it Safari in, not here. Okay, in Chrome browser, you put it as, Safari, or you put it as, as Firefox, and you can write the test case. So that's that helps to, to write redundant information. Instead of writing redundant information, right, you can copy this. Okay, so you understood, right? It's located in the right side, right corner, which has three icons here. Which is last one is to copy. So just hover your mouse. It shows the copy TC 195. So you understand that is copy. Okay. So that's about the test cases. So don't. So my, no my Okay, so my idea is not to get addicted to the tool. So here here you have, just because I'm saying, let's take an example. Suddenly you use a new tool in at the place, um, okay, at the client place, and suddenly you find out, like, this kind of, this kind of user interface. So now you figure it out. Okay, where is where? Okay, so in that case, you can hover your mouse and look through it where you are actually looking for. and what are you looking for. Okay, so you can just play around with this and understand like what is it, because it's completely new interface, right? So just like yesterday I had some hard time to delete this task. Okay. So the same way, you need to I'm still having a hard time to delete this. Oh, here you go. See, now in that user interface it was easy. So now I figure it out. To delete this, you have this option here, the gear option. The gear, click on delete. You can delete it. So that's how you need to get used to the tool. But here my concept is, don't get addicted to the tool, because it can change anytime. Let's click on. Oops. So let's do the user story. Okay. So I'm going back. I'm not satisfied. I really like this interface, actually, not easy and not very intuitive. Okay, so let's go to defects. Okay, so now you have to create a defect. Let's say you have written a test case and you found some defects, you find plenty of issues, and you check with your lead, and you coordinated with your developer, and business analyst said, okay, that's okay. You don't have to tell to everyone, just you can check with your lead. That's more enough. Once you get a good rapport with developers, you can directly interact with them, saying that is this a issue, like I want to open this issue because it is affecting my test cases, and I cannot proceed my test cases because of that. So in that scenario, you can tell them that um I want to open a defect. Okay. Okay, so to open a defect, again you can follow the similar procedure. Hover your mouse over this action that is located in upper right corner. See this actions, and then new defect, right? And click on that. Okay, so here make sure you follow this naming convention here. Here I'll be writing, so I'll be giving summary of, not summary, I mean just title for the defect, like what's the defect is all about. Okay, so here as I told you, right, so I'm opening a defect which is shipping and handling fee. Okay, so which we have this issue. So what I'm trying to say is, like when I'm trying to order large quantities, my shipping and handling is showing up as $5. Okay, now so what will be the my issue is like shipping and handling issue. Okay, and so this is like project information, something about project, like testing demo on website. Okay, and if it is critical issues such like production issues or something like that, so okay, in this class you can use your name here, so I know who is preparing. But in real time, if you are using this star, then you can use this as critical information, or like production issue. So see, this is my experience. You don't have to do that. I mean, I'm just saying my experience, like because it's easy to for me to identify the critical issues. That's why I use this. Okay, and if you are using production issue, you can just type as production issue, and you can use that. So I mean, you don't have to follow that. That's I mean, that's the way I do the work, just to find out my critical issue. Okay, and okay, this is not required once work in the real time. This is not required. Okay, so this is the naming conventions that you have to follow. If you want to choose tags, you can choose tags. TLC, not sure about that. Okay, so you will be having various tags, or if you can create a new tag of yourself. Let's say we put out GMO online. Let's save it and click on apply. GMO online tag. So that's kind of project information, or what you're trying to refer. If you have 2 to 3 tags, GMO online functional testing, and you can add those tags. Tags is used to, like, identify what is a which project or which testing, or just to, like, identify. Okay, here is the description. I will be writing as, what will I be writing is, when I'm trying to order large quantity, I'm shipping and handling fee is showing as $5. Okay, for more information, please see the screenshot. See, always use the screenshot. Image is worth 1,000 words, right? So use that. So okay. So what you'll be doing is, like, you can use this. Check as print screen, and use this. Okay. And now I want to highlight it where the actual issue is, right? I want to highlight it because, see, why you want to do all this? To let the developer know, okay, because you'll be working on thousands of things at once. So you don't want to, like, you know because the developer will be running around, so you don't want to, like, know the developer. Okay, so you want to give a accurate information, the developer, so that he'll be fixing as soon as possible. If you are giving less information, then he'll be running around, and he might, tell you to your boss, saying that, hey, this guy didn't give you know correct information, or is less information. Then you will be getting, saying, you will be getting call from a manager saying that why you didn't give the information. And you need to have good reason for that. Okay, so now I want to take this screenshot, so I'll be just giving the screenshot which is required. So I'll take this screenshot to here only. Here. Okay, so now what I'm trying to see, I highlighted this with this, with the red mark, saying that shipping and handling is showing as $5 for these many quantities. We can see that. Just click that. Now, what I can do is, right, either I can attach it here in the attachment section, or I want to upload it. Let's say I want to upload in the, in the description itself. Click on here. Click on my computer. The desktop. See, this gets updated. Here is the issue. Okay. So here I can see the issue here itself. So you can do other way. You can either put the attachment. So here I'll leave it as shipping and handling issue. Okay. So here what here what is there, right? It's a description itself. It gets the image shows up. So it's easy. Okay, so I will, like, and I want to make easy, right? So because I also, when I look this after 3 months, because sometimes you work on this and you forget about this. After 3 4 months, this issue come show up again. So in that case, right, it's easy. So I look in this. Oh, this is the issue. This was the issue 3 months back, 4 months back. Oh, I didn't knew about that. Because so many work, right? You might not even remember. So this is easy to make your work easy, and your colleague works make it easy. Because okay, so screenshot is always, I would recommend screenshot. Even I, whenever I used to open defects, screenshots are always must. Even in the ETL or, doesn't matter. In any software, you need to put a screenshot. Because if you put only small information, it's like, when I'm trying to order large gun shipping, and if you stop from here, the developer doesn't know which application you are moving, okay, which project you are working on, okay, so they will be also working on so many projects, so many applications. So in that scenario, right, you don't know. So now everything is shown up here. Okay, this is the URL. Okay, this page looks familiar. Okay, I know which project is this. In that case, right, it's easy. Okay, so that's the reason you need the screenshot. Okay, next we move. Okay, moving forward, once you get experience, and once you might not require all this, but to start with, this is very important. Okay, it's very important because the reason, right, because you need to explain. So the only way to explain is through images. So this is better. Okay, so here already you can see this. What is the issue? So the developer might fix it immediately. Okay, and next we have this. You have this owner. See, the owner of defect is the developer. Owner of the test cases is the tester. Owner of a defect is developer. So this will be the developer actually. So whoever is the developer will be the name. If you don't know this, don't know the owner, check with your lead, or you can say, hey, I don't know the developer, the concerned developer, or the concerned owner of this defect. Can I assign it to you? Okay. Can you assign it, or do you know who is someone, so that I can search it? Sometimes, right, the developer, like, you might not have access to that, so that the owner doesn't appear here. Okay, there might be some issues here, because you don't have access to that to view those, so view that project, because the developer doesn't show up. So in that case, you can assign it to lead, saying that, hey, I was not able to find the developer for some reason, maybe not sure about that. Can I assign it to you? Can you, assign it? Okay, so you can assign this owner of the defect is always a developer, not a tester. Okay, state. So the state, see, make sure you guys make state as open, not as submitted. See, this you need to, because see, the developer would not work until the state is in open status. See, the reason they submitted, right? Let's say you are working on 2 to 3 projects, okay, and the testing has not yet started, and you found a bug. You found a bug, and you don't want to tell to anyone, or you don't want to report anyone. Okay, you just want to keep this open, so that when you are working on that project, you can assign it. So in that scenario, you can put a submitted, saying that, okay, submitted, and just forget about it for 3 4 months, and after 3 4 months you found out, okay, this is a real issue, you can open it, or you can delete it. So that is okay to put as submitted, because that doesn't goes to anyone, but you need to put as open. Okay, so this status should be always an open status, unless you are working in future projects or something. Your boss told you to not to put an open or something like that. Otherwise, should be open. So make sure you guys don't do mistakes on this, because see, if you see what happens, right? Sometimes you put submitted and you forget. Okay, and you said, like, no, you assigned to the developer and everything is good. 1 week has passed and you forgot about the defect. Suddenly your boss calls saying, what's up this defect? So now when your boss says, why this status is submitted, why it's not in open status, what's up with this? So you don't know you cannot say like I forgot, right? I forgot. So that's not a valid answer. So make sure you do it right at the first time. Okay, there is no second time for this. So make sure it's always no open status when you're trying to open a defect. Okay, so this is easy. This allows open at the first instance, but some tools don't allow. First you need to create a defect, then you have to change its status to open. Okay, so this is easy, so you can use that. Okay, now there are two things here. Okay, priority and severity. Okay, severity is like what is the impact of the bug. Okay, severity is something which, what is the impact of the bug. That means how the bug is affecting your test cases, your the application, or the server, or so on. Okay, so that's called severity. Priority is like how soon the bug should be fixed. That's called priority. Severity is what is the impact of the bug. Okay, priority is how soon it should be fixed. Okay, so severity is more for a testing point of view, and priority is for more for a developer point of view. That means for priority you are saying developer saying that okay, it should be resolved immediately, or it is okay, it's normal, or it is lowest. You are telling developer the priority, and severity is like you are telling the tester that what is the issue, how is the issue. Okay, so let's go one by one. So in priority, right, you have these four options. Low. Okay, that means see these priority issues, right? Like low. Let's say if it is low, that means the low issues here in this is okay. Just like text. Here, text is is like green color. It's supposed to be red color. Okay, that might be a low issue. That means they have to change the color. That's it. Okay. So or the font size is 12. Should be like 10 or 11. Font size should be 11, and it is showing as 12. So that is the priority, low priority. That means that is not business critical issue. Okay, that business doesn't stop because of that. Okay, so that is low. So you can, if you want to raise such kind of issues, you can put as low if you are raising it. Okay, and normal is like just like we have opened this defect, so this is normal defects. So this issue like shipping and handling issues. Okay, that you can use as normal, or you can use as priority. Okay, so you can use it normal. Okay, then you have like high attention. See, high attention issues are like these kind of issues is what you want to fix this immediately, because of this issue you are not able to move to the your test cases, the remaining test cases. For example, right, let's take an example like high attention. So let's say you want to browse some button is not working, and this error is showing up. So this is a high attention bug. You want to click, you're clicking that button, but it's showing this error. So this is high attention. It should be fixed as soon as possible. Okay, so this will be also a resolved immediately, because you are not able to see the high attention bug. Priority is like that is stopping you all your work and your team members to move forward. So that's why high. And resolve immediately are mostly okay. These also can be resolved immediately, and production issues. These production issues are always resolved immediately. There are no low or normal for that. Production issues resolved immediately. Okay. So these are the priorities. And severities normally go, if there is low priority, cosmetic issue, normal minor problem. So it goes with a similar, if it is 2, if this is like number 2, this will be also number 2. Okay, normally it's not always, sometimes okay, sometimes severe may be you know like minor problem, and you might give it normal, that's fine. But if you have major problem, you might give resolve immediately. Okay, yes, okay. Okay, so normally it goes with matching. Okay, so whatever, if it is number here, that will be the similar number here. Okay, so in this case we put as normal and minus all. Okay, see here cosmetic is like, you know, I told you, right, text, or you know, some color of the text or font size. Minor problem is like we have raised an issue here, right, like shipping and handling. Major problem is something which URL is not working, the URL itself is not working, then it's a major problem because you're not able to proceed with your test cases. Okay. And the crash or data loss is, you know, is like production issues, or it can also be a major problem. The URL issues also can be also be a priority one and severity one. Okay, let's put 3 here. Okay, environment. So environment, so what environment you are working on? Development, test, staging, production. Okay, production, you not always will be working. Okay, you might be working also testing in production. That is not recommended, but if you have no choice, no, you have to also work in the production. Okay, development. Okay, sometimes what is development guys just right? No, we cannot move that code into test environment. We don't have that much time. Do the work in the development. So you know, you they'll give you access to the development environment and all those things, and you can work on the test. Of course, this is what we will be working on, test environment. Okay, staging. Staging is like, you know, more for ETL point of view. If you are, you know, working on ETL, okay, there is staging before target database. Okay, so staging database. So there it will be working on that. Found in, let's say this will be the project name. Fixed is the developer's guy, so you can leave it alone. Fixed in and verified in. Target build, let's say, you know, 19, whatever the build is. Target date. Now date is the last date, the subdate is 21st. So before 21st it should be fixed. Okay. And resolution. So resolution is again the job of a developer. It says like, what's the issue of this defect? Is it architecture issue? If it's architecture issue, then the defects, you know, that guy may route the issue to the concerned developer. Again, he if he knows, you know, he will be routing, or else he will be rejecting the defect, saying that not my problem. Okay, and he'll say like, okay, so you need to figure it out. Okay, which person you need to route it, because it's not the right person who is working on it. Okay, so architecture issue, code change, configuration. So these are all the issues, various issues. Okay, if you can reject the issue and say not a defect, you can do that. Okay, or if you have not written properly, you can reject the issue and say need more information on this. If you didn't put the screenshot and you don't know what to do with that, then you reject the defect and say need more information. Okay, so this is not our job, this is the developers who will be putting the resolution for this. Yeah, so resolution, you need to leave it as it is, no entry, because see, this is not um, mandatory field, right? Mandatory fields are this red color. You see this project state name. This is not mandatory field, so you have to leave it alone. Okay, you can leave it because this should be get updated by developer and not by the tester. Okay, so that's about the resolution. So we no, as a default we'll leave it as no entry. And affects docs. Okay, affect doc in sense like, is it affecting the document? Is, see, there is a documents, right? They have FRD, you have like, you know, BRD. So because of this defect, should the document should be changed, or the documents will be remain same? Okay, because of these defects, what, you know, what are the features that are going to change? What are the functionalities that business analysts have to change? You know, so if you think that it's that level of that critical level of issue, then you need to click as check mark. So that okay, yeah, it's affect documents. See, in the documents it's not there, it's not available. You know, they have not updated the document or something like that. Okay, so that if it is that in that scenario, click on this. Okay, for now we'll just leave it now. Release notes. So if there is any release notes, check mark it or else. Okay. Scheduled state. Here again you need to, instead of define, you need to put it in progress. It should not be in defined status. Okay. And then blocked. See this defect. Okay, if you want to block this defect, you can block it. The blocking sense, okay, this defect cannot be fixed, or you know, yeah, it cannot be fixed. So normally this will also does by the developer, or testers also can also block it, because you cannot fix the defect, or the defect is no more valid. Okay, or there is, you require more information on this, then you put as blocked. You need more information, you keep it blocked and put the block reason why you are blocking this. Okay, you need to put this blocking reason. So now I'll just remove it and ready. If it is ready, just click on ready. Release. This is release. You have more options here. You can put iterations. If you have any iterations, iteration 1, iteration 2, so on, you can check this iteration. And plan estimates. Let's say you're planning like 5 points for this. And if you think like this is a very critical issue, let's say it's a very critical issue here. Oops, priority is like resolved immediately and severity is 1. So what you want to do is like expedite. You want to expedite, click on this mark. So it will like expedite. Okay. And if you have any more information to put, you can put it in notes. And once you have done all this, click save and close. Okay. So now you have actually successfully created a defect. So here you get all this information like defect ID, which is 237. D means defect. Okay. If you hover your mouse, it's a small screenshot here. What's the defect all about? And you have name. What's the name of the defect? So the name should be very, it should be like, as I told you, right? It has to follow the conventions, like a brief line, just 2-3 words of line of what's the issue and which project, and if it's a critical, put it in star mark. So that's the name should be there. And requirement which user story. So user story number 102. Okay. And then here you have priority is normal, it's number 3. And state, yeah, as I told you, right, it should be always open, not unsubmitted. Okay, state open. Target build, okay, see whatever the build you are working on. And if it is, once it is fixed, it will be like fixed in version. Okay. And then which project you're working on. So this is the project name and the owner of the defect. Okay, not the owner of the test case, owner of the defect. So the owner of the defect will be developer. Okay, so here too you have these 2 options here to edit. If you want to edit, you can edit this small icon located in the right corner, and this copy. You can copy this defect and you can also put your. So this is all about defects. Any questions on these defects? So this is something which you'll be doing as a QA analyst or QA tester or a lead. Lead also opens the defects. So basically anyone can open defect. So manager won't do that. So you guys need to do it. Any questions on this? How to open defects? Okay. So if no one has any questions, let's move to the next topic. So this is like, this is a job of a QA tester and QA analyst. Okay. So let's say you have, you're one of the lead. You're a lead. Okay, let's say you're a lead. And, apart from this, you will be doing all this. Okay, you will be doing all this. Apart from this, you will also be doing more work. Let's see what's that. Okay. Now if you have, okay, so now you'll be preparing reports. Okay, you have completed your test cases. Let's say you have done your test cases. You have opened defects. Okay, you have opened defects. Now let's say you go to the reports. So you have this option, located in upper, kind of menu bar, not exactly menu bar, where you have this, bar, where you have this plan, track, quality reports. Click on reports. So this is, see, there are like kind of two kinds of reports. One is like, project level reports, and one is team level reports. Okay, so this is, it's not classified or something like that. I'm just saying, like, because, so it's up to the boss, like, whatever they want. So when they ask you, you need to come up with this, reports. So here, if you have this, report, this is more of a project level report. That means it's related to project. How much the iteration is done, how many defects are there, how many people are working on it, and so all kind of project related. Okay, not about the, team related, project related. So let's see how does it look like. So if you have, let's say, if you have a defects and you want to see this report, click on defects by report, and this is the report, you get it. So you have like 65, and from September 2013 to October 2000, I'm sorry, September 13 to October 13. This is the report. So these are all the defects. And when you hover your mouse, so it will more information, that is normal are 27, high attention are 25, resolve immediately are 7. So this gives information about the, you know defects by priority. Let's check different report again. Since we don't have many user stories, so it might not come up everything else. So let's check something else. Just if it comes up, let's check. Okay, good. So we have some throughput here. Okay, what are the user stories and what are the defects for that user stories? That will change. Okay, so let's see different one. We'll go with defects by state. Okay, so this is how you can get a report. Let's check one more thing. Defects. Release defect trend. Accept this. You should be good. Oh, zone 20. Oh, so only thing is like, 0. Okay, so let's check only the defects. Okay, defects by priority. So let's say if you have this defect, right? Once you have, this defect ready, or I'm sorry, this report ready. Okay, so these are all the information, and your boss requires all this, information to send through email. Okay, so what you'll be doing, right? go to the page tools, which is located in the upper right corner, and go to email, click on email, and if you have put the email here. Okay, and if you want to put it in, you can have two options here, embed in email or attach a PDF, and go with default. If you want to include your recipient, use that, or you don't have to. Click on send. So this defects, let's say this report, that report defects by priority will be going to the email. Okay, so the similar way you have so many reports. You can send any reports based on the requirement, whatever. And let's say that report doesn't exist here. So let's say you have given some work which doesn't exist. Then very good. So you got this. So here is the report for the defects. So your boss gets this report. It says, okay, this is what the report for defects per priority. So they can check it. Okay, and let's say you've got a something which doesn't exist. You can also make your own custom reports. Click on add new, and so here you can put the option what you want to see. Like if you want to see the actual task estimate, you want task to do, or let's say count of work. And you can use some of the task to do, and broken down by, go with different priority, add few of them. So it's up to whatever the requirement is. Like you want to see based the data for the whatever the task against the whatever the defect or defect priority. You can go there. Let's see. Filters. You want to add filters. Now just remove this and run. Let's see what it shows up. Okay. So this is how the report. This is a custom report. This we have done. This task. Some of the task against the defects. So what are the defects? So this is how you can even you can send this. Go here and export as or email it. You can email it. Okay. So you can also create your own custom report based on whatever the iterations are based on the information which is. You can create your own report. Okay, the things which are not available in this. Okay, so that is about this project report. Then you have like this it's called like team reports, where what you can do is, so this scenario where actually your boss want to see how the team is doing, who are working on the project, who are not working on the project. So all those things, who are working on the task. Okay, so let's go to new stories. So this we don't have. Let's check this. Okay, let's say we have these test cases. Go to the test cases. Okay, and let's say you have this few test cases, right? Go to the actions. Click on print report. Okay, click on that. This is we are creating report for the test cases. So that means your boss needs to know who is working on it and who is not working on it. So here just leave it. For now we'll just leave it this here and we'll just print it. Okay, so this is the report what you have generated for the 3 people who were working in the project, and you just click on print. Okay, let's save on this PDF. Okay. Now, since you have generated this report, test cases report, so that means all the test cases, who is working on it, will be, so whoever will be the responsible person will be looking into this one. Okay, who is working on it and what is the test case ID and so on. So all these test cases, how many are passed, how many are failed, why they are failed. Okay, every team member will be there in this report. This is and you can send this report through email. Okay, so that is for test cases. The same way you can generate for defects. For the defects, go to the defect section, go to the action and print report. On print report, we'll just leave as default and print. Here too you can do the same thing. Go ahead and print. Okay, and view this. So here since this is out of email, right? You can check what is this and see this. Okay, so this is the report. You can save it and email it, and you can show here what's the defect and why why the screenshots and all those screenshots and who is working on this defect, and all those things you can view here. So this is like kind of team level report. That means everyone who is working in the team will be sending. So lead, this is a job of a lead, a QA lead. So apart from testing and reporting defects, the lead is also will give the reports of the team people and to the manager, saying that okay, these people are working on this one and these are the team members and they are working on this. Okay. So you can also view this test runs, how many have run and how many has passed and how many has failed. This is just a small option to view here. So you can also print this. Okay, and you can also send this report. So this is all about the defects and the reports. Any question? Any questions so far? So I'll be giving homework for this too, to okay, so just make sure don't get used to this interface because today I've changed this interface again. So now instead of this left side, so you guys had this got used to this left side, right? Now all the all the information is now showing on the top bar. So whatever you're trying to do, task or defects, is now instead of the left side, you're getting in all in the top. So okay, so use this interface for today, because I know you guys have, maybe you guys have logged in and you might have seen, and you might have got used to this. So now you try this one. You go to the test case or go to the defects, you have everything here, but only thing is instead of the left side you have it here in the top. Okay, and you know how to delete this. You click here and delete if you, so don't delete anything, just saying don't delete anything for now, because if you delete again it might mess up something else. So just if you want to delete something, just put a delete mark. I know I'll delete it. So let's say if you want to delete something this, right, just put it here and put as delete in capital in uppercase. So I'll be deleting that. So just you guys don't delete it. Okay. Okay, so if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? Let's quickly check once. Yeah, Jana, do you have any question?
Yeah. Is there any way I'm not getting all your recorded versions? Could you
Oh,
please send it to me?
oh, you're not getting over. Can you send an email to my email ID manu@itmerica.com?
Okay,
Yeah,
just
please
your
send it.
email ID.
Yeah, because
Okay.
see, sometimes I may not have your email ID, so
Uh-huh.
send it to you can do it right now. You can just send it to my email ID, check manu@itmerica.com. So I'll add you in the list. Okay.
Okay, please do that. It feels like I understand you, and when I and this week has been very busy. I'm sorry. I will catch up. I promise I'll catch up this weekend. Okay, I talked with Usha. I wanted to do it in November. I'm just doing it right now. But anyways, it will help me a big time. Please send it to me and bear with me. I will catch up on Monday. Okay, so hopefully it will help me.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Sure. Yeah. If you have any issues, also let me know. You can send me email. Okay. You can even call me. Just send me an email so that we can set up some time. Okay. I'm free. Okay. Okay. So any more questions? Here you can also you can go ahead and view this, what are the various information. Here we'll be mostly working on user stories and mostly user stories and reports. Defects you can we don't have defect option here, although, but so you can always navigate through here. Okay, so no big deal. Anywhere you can find out. Okay. Okay, so yeah, whoever doesn't have any I'm not getting recordings or not getting homework, send me an email. Okay. Um, at manu@itamerica.com. So I'll be sending all the information like whatever the recordings or homeworks. Okay, thank you guys.